Interactive Multimedia Program over there. And basically what we do over there is we show students how to build video games. So you guys make video games? Awesome, okay. So the students I teach are trying to make the next big game. We create websites like YouTube, so we do a lot of like website stuff. We make videos, we make 3D animations, and basically we just play all day. We have a space kind of like this, and we have people playing with electronics, people doing programming, we have artists, and we have musicians. We had a class where we built robots that would conduct a college orchestra, and we brought it to an orchestra, and some of the robots didn't work out too well, but that's the kind of thing that we do. We do a lot of playing. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about, actually two things. So I want to talk a little bit about interactive computing, which is basically trying to do things with computers that computers haven't done before. Right? So I have a couple of things set up, and we're going to play around. This was supposed to be like more of like a programming altogether kind of thing, but it might be more of a show and tell. But the handouts that I have will give you a good idea how to get started if you want to do some of this stuff yourself. So I guess before I even explain what it is, let me show you one of my projects and something I just did kind of recently, and then we're going to go from there. So we're going to take a quick field trip over to this big box thing over here. So come on over. And so this is the kind of stuff I'm hoping to show you guys how to do a little bit today. So does anybody want to try it? Yeah. For this kind of stuff, you just got to get your hands dirty. And all right. Ladies first. All right, nah, we're good. It'll only take a minute. Okay. Go ahead, yeah.
What do I do?
Try it.
Swipe the pad.
Yep.
No, look down this way. Oh. John, did you make that?
Yes.
Somebody else want to try that?
Yes.
Come on. Once you do it, I'll explain what it's all about. But yeah, play, definitely. That's okay. This is at the Grounds for Sculpture for about 4 months, and there were 300 school kids using it a day. So by the time I got the fabric back, it wasn't.
Did you ever replace it?
Yeah, I put new fabric on it.
Press hard.
Yeah. Yeah, don't be shy. Wait, kids climbing on it. Yep.
Okay, who else wants to try? You want to try? Say, back up. Have anything to do with pressure?
It does. And the reason, the kinds of things that we do at the college is, I was thinking, how many of you guys have used iPads before? Right? And if you press really hard, what happens as opposed to pressing really soft? Nothing. Yeah, right. So what I wanted to do is, I wanted to see if I could make a touch screen or a touch interface that mattered how hard you press it. And so if you barely press at all, you get these blue inks and these higher tones. But if you press really hard, you're going to get these redder inks and really darker tones. And so it was just an experiment to see, can it be done, right? So
it's not multi-touch.
It used to be. Yeah, my computer's not powerful enough. I could work with it and make it multi-touch again, but it was running really slowly, so. Yeah, try it. So inside, I'll show you how it works, actually. There's a camera down there. Have you guys ever played the Xbox before?
Yes.
There's the camera. And basically what it's doing, the only thing it's doing is trying to figure out what the closest point is. So we're using the Xbox Connect to do things that normally doesn't do, like make a pressure-sensitive interface. Yeah. And there's got little lights there. I'm going to talk about the lights a little bit later. I wanted to have lights throughout the whole thing, but I just ran out of time. At the college, we do experiments like this all the time. So a lot of it's not finished work. We just like to play. And so there's a sculpture lab, so I was able to throw this together pretty quickly. And then here, there's a couple of things going on I'll talk about. In order to do this stuff, you have to know a couple of things. You have to know a little bit about music, right? So these are all notes from a scale, so I know a little bit about music. I do a lot of art, so I had to think about color and I had to know a little bit about math. And there's actually some physics and some math going on to push these particles around. So a lot of what we do is we take all the different subjects and we smash them together, and that's how we create games. Because if you think about games, you need good writers to make storyboards. You need good artists so that you can make the characters look good. You need programmers to actually make the characters do things. You need people in marketing to market the game. There's all these different kinds of people that we need. We need musicians. We have the college orchestra a lot of times even compose our music for us. We have a big recording studio. And so we bring a lot of this, we bring all of these different disciplines and all these different subjects, the stuff you guys are learning in school, we bring them all together to create games, data visualizations, web applications, and a lot of times we just play. So, yep, so inside there's these things called a reed switch, which is a magnetic switch. So when you put the magnet close to it, it makes contact with the two wires, kind of like flicking a switch of a light. And I have 56 of them. They're from an old train set from the 1950s. I got them on eBay. You probably have a reed switch if you have a bicycle that has a speedometer. There's a reed switch on the tire, so when the magnet passes, it closes. And there's a computer in your speedometer that figures out how quickly that switch is happening, and that tells you how fast you're going. So this is a very special kind of keyboard.
This is brand new, right? This whole makey thing is brand new.
Brand new. Hey, it
Excuse me there.
So somebody play. Oh wait, if you want to play, you have to hold on to one end, and I'll explain how it works. So you have to hold on to this wire clip and play. And there's some there's some graphics and stuff, but they're not that important.
That's hilarious. So strange.
It's not pressure at all, right?
No. It's actually looping through all of you guys now.
Like I said, this is so strange.
How many people can I got there?
So this is the Arduino. Show you one over there. It can do that. So you can program it to play songs like the Mario Brothers theme song, or you can use your iPad to play it.
So that's the Arduino?
That's a big one, yeah.
And these are, what do you call these boards? I forget.
Those are just regular perf boards.
Perf boards.
Yeah.
And then all these things are sending signals based on the spots they're on the board.
Exactly.
And then somehow you're controlling it.
And it could play really fast. So when I had it working, it was able to play really fast music. And what I'm going to do, before we play around with the parts, I want to show 1 or 2 videos to show you what other people are doing with the Arduino. So you guys can create in 3 days. So I move my hand away. Just getting that number. So it gets distance really easily. Fancy cars you buy for 40 grand, you can make your own. My Corolla has 200,000 miles on it. I'm gonna tape this to the bumper, and it's gonna be just as good as any expensive car. Yeah. So and then you can spin it any you want. You can make this like your personal space meter.
That's what I was
So if people get too close to you, you can have it light up and